Thank you very much. Thank you, Christian. My name is Neiiendam. I'm the chairman of Interactive Denmark. And in Interactive Denmark, we work to create a stronger games industry. We've done so for 6 years, 7 years almost. And we work to create more jobs, more turnover, and in total, just a much better and more vibrant Danish game industry. But when we talk about the games industry, we often talk about, change. Change seems to be the only constant that we have in this industry, if we look at it from a total perspective. And talking of change, I think time has come for a change. Time has come for an upgrade of the Danish game industry. When we look at the games industry in Denmark, I think the perspective that most of us has, and maybe that we think the outside world has of Denmark, is maybe something like this. A boat where passionate people, 3 guys, have set off to go and conquer the world. And they are really passionate about what they're doing. But if we look at the picture, they may not be in the right situation. They may not even be facing the same way. One guy is wearing a safety vest, going into the games industry. That's not what you want to do. You want to go full in. And the boat, the ship design, is that the best design to fight competition? Is that the best design to go on a journey that may take years to go to find new land? I think not. So I think time has come for an upgrade, maybe to something like this. Something like not boats, but ships. Imagine that we could build ships, companies here in Denmark, where we are actually able to fight the competition, where we are actually able to conquer new land that lies way away, well away from Denmark. Couldn't that be great? And not just one big company. We all know that IO and Cybo are the ones that make a lot of money, Kilo Games as well, Movie Star. But we would like even more. We would like an army of ships. We love to have a Danish army that goes out into the world and conquers the world and bring back some of that precious gold to the Danish taxpayers. So we don't have to pay so many taxes. That's your mission in life, maybe. But in order to make this upgrade, we would probably have to do something. We would have to change. And change has already begun in my mind. This festival to me is marking the beginning of some of that change. As Christian mentioned, we have a lot of partners that have come together. They have been here for many years, but in essence what we have done is actually just to make them come in the same room and talk together and decide that we want to do this in the same week. Because Nordic Game Jam was done in 1 week. Interactive Denmark did business tracks in another week. Spilprisen was done in a 3rd week. And all we've done is taken what is there and put it together to make it bigger. And I think that's one of the things that we can actually do much better in Denmark. Build on the things that we already have. And we have a lot of good partners that come in and help us. And we have even been able to get sponsors from outside. And some of those sponsors are actually public. For the last years, many years, Interactive Denmark has been supported by Markedsmodningsfonden, Københavns Kommune and Region Hovedstaden. And they have actually paid to help us develop Spilbar. That is now more than 200 people coming in Filmhuset. And it's also in Jutland. And we have Growing Games. That is this year coming in 10 workshops, 4 of them in Jutland and 6 here in Copenhagen. And we have the Solid program, where more than 50 companies, a lot of you participating today, you've been part of this. And we actually measure your progress in the Solid program. And thanks to Christian and Mento, we can now say that 61 new jobs has been created in these 50 companies. So we follow the development of these companies, and they do create jobs if they focus, and if they focus on doing business, not just doing product. But we need more to create this upgrade. We need a map for the future. We need to understand how are we going to get there, or maybe even why should we go there. To me, the why is actually this. It's a bit complicated. I will try and take it down. But focus on this. This is the estimated value of the games industry on a global level, $91 billion, growing at almost 8% on the traditional market and almost 16% on the mobile market into 2018. So growth on all accounts, more gold out there to be taken. And it's growing not only if you are on mobile, but also if you are in other sectors of the game industry. So this is one of the reasons why it could be interesting to go out there. Unfortunately, other people have seen this. Damn. And competition is getting much harder. We are seeing competition now where the cost of getting users is skyrocketing. We are seeing costs in producing product is skyrocketing. So competition is there. And that is why I think we have to build stronger ships to face this competition. But alas, our Nordic neighbors have betrayed us. The Nordics, we thought we were part of a Nordic team. For 10 years we've met up in Malmö at Nordic Game and celebrated their product. But look at it. In Sweden, they have sold King, they have sold Minecraft for billions of dollars. Some of the biggest transactions done in the whole world in the last few years. In Finland, the games industry alone is a significant export sector. In 2015, they estimate 2.5 billion euros in turnover in Sweden. That's up 33% on 2014, 1 year. Think of that, that's more than 13 billion Danish kroners in turnover from the games industry. And 95% of that is exports. So the politicians in Finland has got an easy job to do. They can prioritize the gaming industry because it's in the numbers. It's actually export, it's actually sales, it's actually tax revenue to the Finnish economy. And that's where I think we should be going as well. But they have betrayed us. They are already out there and we are not part of that party. So what do? Well, we could look at how many products we do. And this is the numbers I've been able to find from our colleagues in Sweden and Norway. And if you look at the numbers, these are anything from small indie titles to bigger titles, but all produced by local producers, local developers. So not international publishers publishing games in each of the countries. So we are not producing way less product than Sweden. Finland is doing a little bit better. But still, how can they create so much growth in these big companies? Well, they must be more efficient because if we look at the sales, this is the turnover of the industries. And if you look at Sweden and Finland, they have broken the curve to 1.8 in 2014, rising to 2.4 billion euros in Finland. They are off the chart. If we look at Sweden, they are on the right move. And we have also had a positive development, but we have not broken the curve. And we need to break this curve. We need to grow as fast as they do. And that's why I think we need an upgrade. Should we lay down and die and say, okay, sorry, they ran with it all. No more opportunity? I think not. We should upgrade. We have every opportunity to upgrade. We have a strong economy and a strong environment here in Denmark. Look at the turnover. We have more than doubled our turnover if we look at the industry. 200% up from 2009. Export 500 million Danish kroners. The number of companies, more than 100 new companies added to the industry over the last 5 years. And if you look at the number of employees, more than 700 employees in the industry. They actually make a living from working within the Danish game industry. It's their full-time job, these 735 people in 2014. And if you calculate the turnover per employee, it's more than 1.4, I think, per employee, 1.4 million per employee. So it's a relatively good number in turnover per employee. So we need to move forward, and we can move forward. But again, we need more tools to upgrade. And I think one of the first tools we should look at is our direction. Have we got the right direction set out for the Danish game industry? Are we on the path of being able to conquer the new worlds? And to me, the overall direction, the overall goal needs to be growth. We need to accept that we have to grow. We cannot just look at how hard it is to raise money to do our product. We know, and I accept that is our main challenge. We need to have money to be able to create product. Without that, we don't have anything. But still, we also have to focus on how can we grow and how can we grow faster as a company. And growth comes when we go out into the world and you present your product. Don't just think that they will come here and find you. Go out there, go on export missions, go out and meet friends that are in China or in wherever across the world, and make them understand that you have the greatest product, so that we can actually get the whole world to see Denmark as the place where you can actually get great content for gaming. Because when I meet people at GDC or in China, they really think that we do great product. But somehow we, in our own mind, we don't really believe that we could actually be acknowledged as a hub for creating great content. I'm sure the film industry, not to make any comparison, but I'm sure they know that they have an extraordinary high market share in terms of the relatively small size of Denmark. So we could do the same in the gaming industry. We have the product, we have the people, we have the passion. But we also need the money to fuel this. And that's the second goal that I think we have to measure on. And something that I will commit to today, that Interactive Denmark, we will measure how much external investment is coming into Denmark. If we look at Finland again, in 2015, 8 companies got more than 36 million euros of external investment. The company simply alone got 16 million. Much of that coming from Western and Asia investors. And they come to Finland, of all places, to invest 16 million in one company. Why couldn't they come to Denmark? I don't see any reason why. And I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to double our growth in the next years as we have done in the previous 5 years. We have to believe in that. And it's only 5 years if we want to raise our investment levels to the same level as Sweden and Finland. But I commit today that we will measure how much investment is coming into the Danish companies so that we actually have a base to measure on, just like we have done with these numbers I've just presented. And I think that could be a good indicator for us all to know if we are actually making progress in building bigger ships. So I propose a change of mind where we don't not just necessarily think of producing product. I know it's hard, I know it's what we have to do in order to get off the ground, but still we also have to think of other components of building the game and building your company. So who's going to Asia? This is where the growth is. Double-digit growth in Asia and a lot of money also in terms of value. Who's going to talk to these reluctant investors? Who's going to take out your pitch and present to them at GDC or wherever you meet them? Who's going to get more professionals to come to Denmark to work? Because we lack talent. We know that in order to grow from 2 to 100 people, you need a lot of talent, skilled talent from day one. And we are not necessarily in a position where we have all that talent in Denmark. So how do we bring in people from the outside to come here and help us? And the list goes on. And these are the questions that I think you should be asking to yourself. So change is coming to us, upgrade is needed, and upgrade comes through you. I think you are the change. Today we give you the opportunity to listen to stories of people who have upgraded from 2 to 100 people in terms of building a company from indie to a large-scale company. We offer you perspective of how you can think PR as part of your business plan, not just when you have finished your product, but from day one. We offer you perspective of how you can think in a business mind setting throughout the whole day of this program. And then later today you will meet all the skilled people building these products out into the businesses of Cybo and other places. So, are you ready for change?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Before I leave the stage, I have to go to a radio interview, but I would like to make sure that we thank all of the people that have done this. So Sofie and Kirstine, please rise up. Mads, Søren Les, who have I forgotten? Jesper. These are the people that have worked constantly over the last months to make this happen, and they have done such a great job, and I'm so proud of what we are able to present today. So thank you very, very much. Thank you.